did we just experience the final shakeout before things get really parabolic in this bull market? Last night we had a massive liquidation candle from around 44K all the way down to 40,700, and then just today we took out that whole wick and we dropped as low as 40,200. We're seeing a bit of a bounce right now, back to close to 42K. But what's going on? Should we panic? Is this the end? Is the bull market over? Are we still in the bear market? Look, who knows? Nobody knows for sure, right? But I think this was the last major fake out liquidation event before things really get ramped up. We'll go through some coins that I feel like support this idea because not the whole market is down today, surprisingly. There are some coins that ended up today and that were pumping. I think this dump is just a little bit of a setback. As we can see with this fucking insane liquidation, our 4-hour RSI has completely reset down to the bottom. So that gives us plenty of room to work with to the upside. And it seems to have perfectly retested this channel that I had drawn out here. Our ascending channel that we broke out of, we pumped up, and then we did get a bit of a Bart Simpson here, right? A little Bart Simpson pattern, pump, come right back down. But I'm inclined to say that this is probably the bottom in my opinion. Again, I'm not a financial advisor, not financial advice. I'm just some dude on the internet looking at crypto and talking about it. But you can see here, even on the hourly chart, if we look, we did get a little bit of a bear or a bullish divergence, right? The RSI, it came up just a little bit as we set a lower low. So our momentum's increasing. Like I said, we're already getting a nice little bounce off these lows. Could we come back down? Sure, the dump might not be over. But from my experience, this reminds me very much of when we had this liquidation here. This one was obviously more aggressive and it pushed us lower, but it was a huge flush down. Got us into really, really oversold territory. So we obviously didn't go that low. But even earlier during this pump, we had some sell-offs and some liquidations that gave us spikes in our RSI to the downside. And this looks very similar. And most of those times it marked the bottom and it marked the low. So I would like to believe that we probably set our low here and now we're going to carry back up. I wouldn't be surprised to see us making new highs before the end of the week. So another good chart to look at is total 3. So the whole altcoin market. And this just solidifies things even farther because we had we'll zoom out even farther to the daily. We broke out of our accumulation range, right? Here, we broke out, and then this wick that we had seems to have perfectly retested the area that we broke out from, right? So it was a breakout, a retest, and now we're seeing like continuation basically. We closed the daily candle above this significant line at these other highs. And I had this line drawn before today or before yesterday. So it closed perfectly above that line and we're bouncing from it. It looks good to me. This doesn't look bad. Look, especially when we're on Bitcoin, going up in a straight line for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days and then waddling around. A pullback's okay. We went from 37.5 to 44.5, coming back down to like 40, 42. This is nothing crazy. There's much crazier things that have happened in bull runs than, look, this was from the top to the bottom about a 10% pullback. That's nothing, honestly. I would not be surprised if as we continue up there are 20 or 30% pullbacks that will immediately get bought up and see straight up recoveries, right? And we look at some of the alts. Some of the alts got slaughtered, right? Let's look at Polkadot. From its high to its low, 18%. But from its low to where it's at now, already back up 10%. Algo, one that held up really well from its high to its low, 25%, but it's already almost back at its high, up 27% from that low that it set in that wick. H bar also not holding up too bad, right? We came 14% down and we're up about 7% off that low, still over like 7 cents. Quant also not too bad. We're up at, let's see how much we dropped on Quant. Quant only dropped 11% from its low, and from the low, it already came back up 6%. So we're chilling on Quant. XRP, it's the the not so lucky participant today. From our high the other day at around 70 cents, we dropped about 15% from our low, and we are only back up 4%. So XRP struggling compared to the rest of the market. And honestly, this is bullish to me. Look, it doesn't look like it, right? We dumped more than everything else. We're back below resistance. We didn't hold this as support like we would have wanted to. Everyone is giving up on XRP, which makes me think that we're so close. Any day, the settlement of the lawsuit could be announced. That is completely over. Ripple pays zero in fines. Some other partnership is announced. And just when everyone's least expecting it, I think that's when it comes. And it seems like we're really getting to that point. A lot of people are losing faith. A lot of people on Twitter saying that they're selling their bags. So I I wouldn't be surprised if it came relatively soon and we see something crazy happen. But no, I don't think that it's over. I don't think we're headed lower. I think this was just a flush out of a lot of leveraged traders. It was aggressive. It scared a lot of people. But I think it's kind of given us a reset on open interest. It's reset our shorter term RSIs. And I think this just gives us room for continuation. Like I said, I I wouldn't be surprised if we're making new highs before the end of the week. We have FOMC this week, which will cause some volatility. And also, if we look over at the stock market, the Dow Jones pushed up today. We are only, let's be precise with this, about 1.5% away from a new all-time high on the Dow. And then on the S&P, we're a little bit farther. We're about 4% away from an all-time high on the S&P 500. Now, it's the stock market, it's not crypto, but typically we see crypto breaking all-time highs, or Bitcoin at least, with the stock market. The stock market goes first, then Bitcoin. So this is a very positive thing to see. This is a very good sign. And if by the end of the week we see the stock market setting new all-time highs, that's going to be very good for crypto. And I think it'll give crypto a little bit of juice it needs to continue up and start running the way that we think it's going to be running. But hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. More updates to come, day in and day out, and see you in the next one. Peace.